Hi everyone, and welcome to Doc's Thoughts. So I'm going to try really hard to talk more slowly because I've had some patients recently tell me that in my Doc's Thoughts I talk a mile a minute. There's a reason for that. Usually when I'm with patients in the clinic, I'm trying to get as much done as possible in our allotted amount of time. So I talk really fast and I get super excited. So I'm going to try to slow down a little bit for you guys. Today I actually want to talk about being your own health advocate. So I shared a story recently in my newsletter about my husband. When we were first married years ago, we went to the doctor together. I kind of convinced him, hey, maybe you should go for your checkup. You know how guys never go to the doctor. So I got him to go to the doctor. And we're sitting in the room and the doctor comes in and does his normal stuff, listens to his heart and lungs. And as he's walking out the door, about 5 minutes after he started the appointment, he has his hand on the doorknob and he looks at my husband. He says, well, I'm going to want to run some labs on you. And then you are obese, so I'll just let you know what your labs show and then make an appointment a year from now to see me. Period. Walked out the door. My husband sat there and was mortified. He had never been told he was obese. The word obese is a scary word. None of us wants to hear that. And then he wasn't given any tools on what to do with that diagnosis. As we know, obesity for many people is reversible. It's not for everyone. So it's not something that can be reversed in everyone, but for most people, it is reversible with things like diet, exercise, sometimes medication management, stress reduction, etc. So there are so many things we can do for things like obesity, but he was not given any of those tools. And luckily he's married to a physician. He's married to not just a physician, he's married to a physician who's obviously really interested in wellness. And so I was able to help share some of the tools that he needed to use to change that diagnosis. And it wasn't me who did the work. He did all the work, but at least he had someone who could guide him in the right direction and say, hey, maybe you should read this book, or maybe we should eat these foods, or maybe et cetera, et cetera. So he was actually able to reverse that, and he's no longer obese. He feels great and healthy, but if he had only gone to the doctor and kind of followed those steps, I know at this point in time, because this is about 9-10 years ago, he might be on blood pressure medications, he might be on diabetes medications, he might be on cholesterol medications, if he had followed down that same trajectory. And isn't that sad? We have a healthcare system and we're supposed to be providing health. And as many of us know, that's not what's happening anymore in the healthcare system. And you also know that I'm not bashing on the people in the healthcare system. It's not the doctor's fault. It's not even the administrator's fault. There's so many pieces of the puzzle that are beyond the scope of this conversation, but it's a very broken system. So the whole point of the story is you need to be your own health advocate. So if and when you receive a diagnosis, you have to ask yourself, what is this diagnosis? What caused it? And yes, maybe you do need a prescription medication or a procedure or something like that, but also ask yourself, is there something I can do to reverse this diagnosis? And more often than not, there will be. So look for that, read about it, find someone who can talk to you about what you should do to reverse that diagnosis. Because at the end of the day, if we don't do that, we're gonna get sicker and sicker and sicker. We're gonna feel worse and worse and worse, and we're not gonna be able to live up to our potential. So that's the story for today. I'd love to hear your comments on it. Be your own healthcare advocate. Make yourself healthy and well, seek out the resources you need, come to see people like me if you need to, and let's make this world a healthier place.